Alright guys, so I wanted to do an episode or a new series right here about the status of my car, as well as moving forward, everything I'll do to it, and so on. So this is my 1996 VVT swapped Miata. I have done all the work myself. I bought it totaled, I fixed it up, I restored it, then I went the Ricer route, I did some mods on it, and then eventually I made it more drift car like, and I was in a really bad accident in the road, in the highway, and it was totaled. Actually, it was all damaged here, so I went ahead and cut it out and re-welded it, and I fixed it up, got the rebuild title, did the titling process myself, and now it's been sitting here. I did a couple more boiler that I built right here. I'm building the custom tail lights and diffuser, but now I'll kind of show you guys everything that I have to do, get it back up to what I wanted to. And yes, I do have Lambo doors, but they did mess up the door or the fender right here a little bit, so I need to fix that up. I'll go ahead and open the other one. Yeah, the keys don't always work that well. So there it is with the doors up, and I'll pop the hood open. This is the interior. Oh, I can't do that yet, I forgot. To go here, we have to first, yeah, I would not recommend anyone installs these hood hinges. From here, see, they're all rusty and shit. These are the fake arrow catch ones. Yeah, you pop them out and then have these buttons here that you press. And then now we can go here and pop it open. Yep, there we go. So let's see, now that I have it open, this is what the engine bay looks like. It's a bit musty. It's been a while. All the bolts are literally rusted. You guys want to have that quick look over there, like the Skunk 2 manifold. All these bolts are always garbage. You gotta get them zinc plated, but I need to replace them, as well as this hose here broke, so I need to swap that. I need to build the cold air intake again and think about how I'm gonna target the coolant hose, maybe get a aluminum radiator. But as far as it is, everything here works fine. And this is the new brake system, and I'll show you guys. Brand new. I just flushed it not long ago. Well, a year ago when I was in the accident, I restored it, fixed the brakes, and then I installed a chase base kit and the, I forget what it's called, but the valve over there, and redid the braided brake lines. You can kind of see my red control arms there, barely. Those are drift knuckles with adjustable upper control arms, and I do have adjustable control arms in the back that I made myself. It is fully engine tucked, or not fully engine tucked. It does have an engine bay tucked to an extent, mainly wiring tucked. But the only issue here is that it does leak oil. Not that much, but it does leak oil, and I think it's the front seals of the engine and the valve cover. So that's something that we're gonna have to figure out, but everything here works, turns on, it works. The AC has a leak, I think, doesn't properly work, but it's whatever. I'm not focused on the AC right now. So that's it for the engine bay. Oh, and then the pop-ups, this one, the bushing broke. So if you look here, the bushing broke, and you can kind of see here it's sticking out. Have to replace that. I did actually model those in 3D, design those. Having my friend 3D print them right now, and then might post a link in the description. If you guys are interested, just let me know. Now, I said I do have to fix that fender, as well as I want to take the fenders off and fix some of the rust from the Lambo door bolts and stuff. I'm just gonna like unbolt them and get rid of the rust and paint it over. Tires are good. The battery, I've been having electrical issues, so let me see. I'll go over here, pop the trunk open, as well as mold in the trunk. So this is the trunk, and I do have a cover in here right now. I'm gonna take it out. So that's the subwoofer I had. It goes usually back there, but nothing but issues with this. Like, it works fine, but it just gets mold back here, and I had like custom made carpet with the sub and everything. Gonna see a little bit of how I did the wiring for the tail lights. They work really good, but I have issues with the battery always dying, so I'm pretty sure I have like parasitic loss or something. So I need to figure that out. So to get the car running and effectively, I just have to take the battery out, charge it, put it back on, and then it's good. But that's it for the trunk. So that's what I have to do to get it running right now. And then if we go in, main things that are left is what it looks like inside. It's a little bit loose, the steering wheel. I have to tighten the bolts. This right here is a little bit loose. I do want to fully bolt this in, haven't really. So everything here works, surprisingly enough, right? I have the Raspberry Pi, which I do have to set up with a Mega Squirt. It has the Pi Dash, I have it all set up. I have Tuner Studio in there. The problem is that it's not fully connecting with the Mega Squirt because I haven't finished syncing it. And then I do have here Spotify CarFing, works fine. This radio here, and then these switches. Only one of these is connected currently to the power of the radio, but I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fix them up and wire up the rest of the other mods I want to do, as well as up here. It's hard to see. I have this light right here. So I have these lights. My girlfriend got them for me, but I did wire them, and this one does work, and they're wired to this one, but wired it a little bit different. So when I turned these on, it blew the fuse. So had to replace that. So it's quick release. I'll clear it out so you guys can see a little more. It's a little better view. You can see the gauges and the gauge cluster they're built. I do want to paint the dash, but it's not necessary to get it operational. Operational is just the battery, really. I have to charge the battery, and then I really need to figure out the parasitic loss situation and what's causing my battery to drain. But yeah, just little loose ends. I do have I think this is G Racing, I don't know. It's a short throw shifter. Do like the feel of it. And yeah, I feel like this has been one of my favorite modifications right here. I do plan on making full tutorials of all the specific items and details, as well as post where you can get all the materials and tools necessary to make them. But yeah, as far as everything needed to get the Miata back up and running, that's fairly much it. And then there is this one thing, which I'll show you right now, is right here on the passenger side, the seat belt, right? Because I have this Bullfrog roll bar, and a lot of roll bars have this issue. The seat belt doesn't go perfectly in, so it's one thing that's a bit loose. You gotta force it back in there a little bit. So I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with this, whether I just wanna rock a harness on this seat, which I have the extra harness, or what I'm gonna do. And spoiler up here, I've tried going it like 3 or 4 times, nothing but issues. So it just keeps going up. So I am thinking of going the silicone route, because right now this one had like multiple layers of the double-sided tape. Still same issue. And then peep episodes for details on this Miata. And peep for more details on this Miata. As far as other mods for my car, I do have this right here in the whole kit. This is a M45 Jackson Racing supercharger. I think Sebring supercharger at the time. So I actually took it fully apart and I rebuilt it. Let me see if I can show you. Rebuilt it, redid the mechanism, engineered it. Rotor coatings and everything are good. It works very well. But I've been wanting to install it, I just haven't gotten around to it. And that's what I was referring to. That's the part of the trunk. Just has to go back in there. It just got mold because it was leaking inside, so I gotta figure out the tail light situation. Those are some of the brackets for the supercharger. And then that right there I bought for my car, which is a 96 Miata right here. And this goes for the rear subframe. It's a rear subframe brace, but it doesn't work on 96 because of the subframe, so it's gonna have to go inside of this 92 right here. So I'm giving that to that car. Some of the other things I plan on doing and showing kind of what I've done for. Right here, I thought about this. I do have a full exhaust valve kit that I built. This is a cheap $50 eBay one that I bought. And I don't know if you can tell, but I welded it together, the shaft, because it was very wobbly. And now it's very stiff and actually works very well. I just have to weld it into the exhaust, but there's not much space underneath the Miata. I do have here, and this is going to be a full tutorial on its own, DIY electric power racing or power steering kit. So this is actually the top half Miata steering rack with a steering column with a Saturn VU, I think. Steering column motor and assembly and stuff. And I have all the other parts on there, like right here. I actually have full measurements and diagrams of where to cut and how to build this thing and where to weld it. And anyone can really weld it. It's not that complicated. And then they do sell this wiring kit online that's general for people trying to do their own power steering kits online. This thing is only like 50 bucks, so it's very good, and it just goes wired directly to the wiring harness you'll cut out from the junkyard. As well as you need one of these, I think 40 amps, I don't remember exactly. It's a fuse connector, but this goes connected to, and this is what feeds it power. I do have a box here of other mods. So my car, actually, I got rid of the heater core, and I built this from an extra flapper box. So I got rid of all the flaps. And I plan on installing this next time around. I do want to take the dash out. Again, do this, fix up some of the wiring. I do want to relocate the battery to the inside the dash. As well as, let me show you right here. It's right there for now. I do have here quick release front splitter mount. And back here behind this, I do have a the sheet of plywood already cut out, and you can kind of see the outline of it to go as the front splitter for the Miata. So I've already measured it, cut it out. It's perfect size, full dam. It's sick. And then these will go on and just make a quick release. So I have to design mounts for these. And here's some of my other parts right now. Here's like the rest of that for the kit right there with the exhaust. As well as a couple little other loose ends, electrical, another tow strap, stuff like that. And one issue is, while I was talking about the front splitter, is that with the fender, these don't really align that well. Right now I have it with zip ties, but kind of my plan here is building a metal brace from inside that goes welded to the car. Well, unboltable from the car, but it's a welded brace that I can just bolt these two with quick release things, kind of like the ones here for the hood, which, yeah, these ones, just pop it right on and off. That way I could just, you know, take off the fender, the bumpers, take out the whole front end very quickly. My only concern is stealing. I've seen on Reddit and other places people just take the bumpers and run, steal them, whatever. So I might put like some locking mechanism or something specifically so you can't just take it. Yeah, let's see. Some other things that I wanted to do, I didn't really get around to it. One of them being this, I got this from the junkyard. This is one of the pedal boxes from a NA. And what I wanted to do here is, or this is the brake pedal box. I wanted to make it so instead of having these four, you could just have two Willwood cylinders. But I never got around to it. I might still build this on the side and sell it or give it to someone that can use it. Because it's a big upgrade. I don't really need it. I don't want to overcomplicate my car anymore. I bought these for my car, and I'll tell you more about them. These are Mustang brake calipers. They're for Miatas because of this adapted a bracket that I bought from a Facebook group buy. And the way this works is it'll go attached to your regular knuckle, and it'll allow for this caliper as well as the Miata and the 11-inch rotors. And I have them right here. The problem is that for my Miata specifically, because I have drift knuckles and I have like 60 degrees of angle almost, they hit the chassis and it bends the braided brake lines. So I had to actually get longer brake lines, but this kit will work fine in any Miata, so we might put it in this. That might be an episode for this series on this car, which is going to come out shortly when I start working on more of these videos. There's not much left on this one. I know one last thing right here in the hood. I did have one of my mesh things fall out. They aren't held on too strong, but I gotta put it back on. I do have it laying around in the garage, so I gotta put that on. That's been real, guys. Catch you in the next one. And then the last thing I plan on doing is taking this plate here off, and I want to cut that part of the frame out, or the front, because the problem is every time I have to take this engine out, which I've already taken out like 4 or 5 times, and I'm gonna have to take it out again because I want to fix these oil leaks and continue modifying it. It's just gonna keep hitting right there as it comes out, so I'm just gonna do away with it, get rid of it. And yeah, this will also involve me doing a bunch of more wiring cleanup, which I want to do, but that can wait. Right now the focus is let's get it running. I think maybe next episode in this series we'll have it running and we can start driving it and make some driving videos and more content. Alright, well, thank you all. Catch you guys in the next one.